Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. This is Denise Pridemore, and I am going to ask Carl's question real quick. Carl from CC Paranormal Team wants to know if you have ever investigated a cemetery.
Yes. I've investigated a few cemeteries. One cemetery is actually fairly close to my house. It's Mount Hope Cemetery in Macokota. Fairly active. One of the stories I actually have from there is actually, it's quite personal. Both of my grandparents are actually buried there. And I was going to visit one of my grandparents and put a hummingbird actually on her gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
She just absolutely loved them. So I just happened to take my Ovilus 3 with me, which is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. And I was just walking over there, and I probably got, I want to say within maybe 150 yards away from her grave marker, and the word grandmother came across. Well, I got about maybe another, I want to say 20 to 25 yards from her grave marker, and the word Christine came across, which is her first name. I'm like, now that's really eerie. So I go over there. She had a old hummingbird that actually got nicked up a little bit. So I was going to pull that one out and put the new one in. Well, anybody who knows my grandmother, she was kind of a pack rat or a hoarder. She just really didn't throw anything out. And I put my hand on it, the old one, got it out maybe about inch and a half, 2 inches. And all of a sudden the words stop and keep came across the Ovilus just instantly. So I'm like, okay, if you want to keep this one, you can keep it. So I just put it back in the ground. So I have another brand new one. I stuck it right next to it. And that was it. I mean, it's really kind of a very intimate conversation that I really actually didn't expect. And I've had different ones that we've gone through there with an SLS camera. We actually captured a figure sitting on it's some of the tombstones there. There's some that actually have like a full bench, and we caught a figure sitting on the bench, and there's nothing else around there. There's no trees, no nothing. We caught another figure along the road. I know one of the former sheriff's deputies, they will sometimes actually do patrols around through there because unfortunately we've had some vandalism in the old part of the cemetery there, and he actually seen a full shadow figure. And he wasn't sure what he was looking at, and he contacted myself and was like, I'm not sure what it was. And I said, well, just show me where it is or where you've seen it, and what it kind of looked like. And I'm like, well, I said, it could have been, I mean, at nighttime but it also could have been maybe a shadow. But not being there, I couldn't give him a definitive answer without having any, camera footage or anything like that. So, I mean, it was really hard to tell.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a question about the event that you're going to. What is the name of that event? Is that the summer school at Farrar, or is it something else? Because I'm not finding an event page. I was going to share it in the chat if I could find it, or at least give some more details for everybody.
Like a hunting at Farrar or something like that, I want to say. Jones Paranormal is actually throwing that on. I'm not sure if he has that on his Facebook page.
Here it is. I think this is it. A night at Farrar public event and ghost hunt.
Yes,
that's it.
Sounds like it.
August 17, 2019. So I'm going to share that event. So if you guys are out there listening and you wanted to go to this event, it is a night at Farrar, Saturday, August 17th. It's hosted by Jones Paranormal Research, and it starts at 6 p.m. and it goes to 4 a.m. on August 18th. So August 17th, 6 p.m. ends August 18th at 4 p.m. And it's got tickets are as hauntingatfarrar.com. So I want to make sure that we got that out there for everybody that might be in that area and want to attend. So here is I just shared the Facebook link to the event in the chat. So you guys know that you can go out there and find that on Facebook if you're looking for it. Okay. So I want to make sure that your event. So if you guys are wanting to go out there and you want to meet Kurtis Miller and he's not at our event and he's at this one, you'll get to meet him.
Yep. And if there's any questions that you want to ask, about the Manor or any other places I've investigated, I'm more than happy to answer them for you.
Do they, at this event, do they have vendors and all that, or is it just a public ghost hunt?
I honestly couldn't tell you because this will actually be my first time actually going to one of their events. So I'm actually very curious about it.
Okay, well, because I'm looking at it now, and as of right now, on March 28th, they said they had 28 spots left. So there you go, guys. If you're looking to go, 28 spots left. I think that they were only selling 40. So, and $30 a head. It's not too bad.
No. And I mean, they're actually even allowing people, if they have their own paranormal equipment, they're actually encouraging them to actually bring it along. So, I mean, it's, I know I sometimes feel, more comfortable using my own equipment rather than, other people's equipment, just to, familiarity with, kind of my stuff and everything. And that's, so, I mean, it's kind of nice that they actually do allow you to bring your own equipment.
I've never been any place that wouldn't let you bring it unless it was a place that really, they didn't want it to be known as haunted. Some tours don't want you to bring equipment. They'll say, in fact, at the Sally House now, if you go for a tour, that's all you can bring is your camera. That's it. So keep that in mind, anyone that's going to do a day tour at the Sally House. The cameras are it for the public walkthroughs, but it's not up to me. So, but you're allowed to bring equipment on the tour for Edinburgh, right?
Oh, absolutely. We actually encourage it. We've had people that have literally brought SLS cameras. There was some guy that actually brought an EDI meter. He actually just set it up and just kind of watched to see if there was actually footsteps or whatever it is. And we said, you might actually catch some footsteps, can't guarantee that you're going to catch footsteps, but I mean, but he actually did catch some footsteps. I've heard shuffling upstairs, just a lot of different things. People brought spirit boxes. And
how many square foot is Edinburgh?
I forget what the square footage is.
How about how many rooms? Approximately.
I want to say there's probably, anywhere between 50 to 60 rooms.
Okay. And about how many people could the place hold? I mean, without being overcrowded.
Well, when it shut down, there was, I believe, 21 to 23 residents in there when it closed down. In its heyday, I think they had anywhere between 60 to 65 people in there.
Okay. But if I was to have an investigation,
that was just residents.
If I was to have an investigation there, how many people is too many?
I would probably say, it's 3 levels. Depending on, if you really want to split up and cover things,
mm-hmm.
I would say probably maybe anywhere between 8 to 10 is probably too many.
Okay.
I know
can you hear
they
everything from floor to floor? Does the sound carry in there?
The lower the number of people you have, I've helped out another group that did an overnight, and they only had 2 people, and they asked me if I'd like to stay along for a little bit, and I stayed for like 4 or 5 hours, and we were on the main floor, and we could hear stuff that was going on upstairs,
mm-hmm.
Which was really, we could hear a door shutting. We could actually hear creaking on the stairwell. It was really eerie. And when we actually went upstairs, we could actually hear in the pool room cracking of the pool balls, and we would run down there, and the balls would all be in the same location. They didn't move,
mm-hmm.
but it was just a crack of the pool balls themselves. It was just, and we've heard running water in the building, but
mm-hmm.
there's no running water in the building. All the water has been shut off. There's no heat. There's a very little electricity in there.
Mm-hmm.
But since there is no heat, they completely blew out and shut off all the water to the main building.
Okay, but is there a restroom?
Yes. They actually do have 2 houses. One house they actually use themselves as kind of like an office area. And the other house, which does have activity in it, we call it the bathroom house or the safe house. That house was actually used by residents who could actually pretty much kind of like take care of themselves a little bit. If they could do their own laundry, they could cook or whatever. And there were 3 bedrooms in there. They could actually stay in there rather than general population.
Okay.
So, and that place does have, full working facilities, and, it has a full working kitchen. It does have the bathroom, and there's full electricity and heat and everything else in there. So, but it is active in that room.
It's always important to know that before you go. And is Edinburgh out in the middle of nowhere?
It is out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. That's why it's important to know that, because
yep.
You don't want to be out someplace and go on, well, I guess somebody's going to call the police because I went and squatted in the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there are a few houses around, but you are literally in the middle of nowhere. What's interesting about it, I did watch the episode of Ghost Adventures.
Well, you're going to have to hold that thought because it's 8:00.
Okay.
We are going on our 5-minute break. So everyone,
okay.
This is your long break. You can go let the dog out, get a drink, make some hot chocolate, whatever it is you need to do.